Okay, I'm going to be perfectly honest with you guys. I have tried to write this, I have tried to record this video like 3 times. And every time I do it, I find myself just talking and talking and talking. I don't feel like my talking is making it any better. So, by the way, Alondra, you left your paper at home. You're going to have to print a copy. Anyway, so what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to show you how to do this. This is one of those situations where you don't necessarily need to know why. You just need to know how. Okay? Let's read through this. Let me explain to you what these mixtures are like. So let's pretend that this chemist here, actually let's do the butterfat one. That one kind of makes a little more sense to me. Okay, so he's got this cream. He's got these 2 types of cream. So let's pretend he's making he's sending something to somebody so they can make these super rich milkshakes. And he's got one that's 24%, and that's too much butterfat. He's got one that's 18% butterfat, and that's not enough. So the buyer wants it to be 22% butterfat, but he doesn't have that. He's got to figure out how he's going to mix these 2 together to get what he needs. So he needs to figure out exactly how many quarts of this and how many quarts of that he's going to mix together to get himself 90 quarts of that. Okay? So all we got to do is just write ourselves an equation. Okay? So we know that the 2 things we're looking for, we need to know how many quarts of this and how many quarts of that. So X is quarts of 24% butterfat, we're going to say BFC, because I don't have time to write this all down, okay? Then, so that's too much fat. That's way too fat. Okay, now we got this 18% butterfat, and that's not fat enough. Quarts of 18% butterfat cream, okay? And we need our just right butterfat cream that's 22%. So here's what I know. I have quarts and quarts. If I add my quarts together, I have to get more quarts, okay? And again, if I'm highlighting this, I've got 24% butterfat, and I've got 18% butterfat. I need to get 90 quarts of cream that's 22% butterfat, okay? So if I add these together, it's got to equal 90, because that's how many quarts I need. So I need to figure out how many quarts of this and how many quarts of that are going to give me 90 quarts. But I don't just need them to be 90 quarts. I need them to be 90 quarts of this 22% butterfat. So I got to figure out how much butterfat's in this one and how much butterfat's in this one. I got to add them together to get 22% of this one. Well, I know that if I want to write 22% of this one, I write 0.22 times 90, because 0.22 is how I write. So remember, 22% is written as 0.22 when I want to do math. So 22% of 90 is 0.22 times 90. Well, if I need to figure out how much of this is fat, I'm going to say 0.24x and 0.8, okay, that was not right, 18y. Because I need 24% of this one and 18% of this one to give me 22% of 90. So far, so good? That's okay. If it's not good, that's okay. You're just going to write it this way. We're going to write quarts plus quarts equals quarts, and then we're going to write percent of quarts plus percent of quarts equals percent of total. There you go. That's all we're going to do. If I want to solve this, this is a system by using linear combination, because this is a standard form and this is standard form. So I'm going to say x plus y equals 90, 0.24x plus 0.18y equals 0.22 times 90. Well, you know what? I can put 0.22 times 90 in my calculator. 0.22 times 90, that's 19.8. So I'm going to cross that off and put 19.8. Okay? Now, I need to make a 0 pair. Look, I'm going to be honest with you, there's a lot going on here, so I'm just going to multiply this by negative 0.24 because I want to get rid of x. That's fine, okay? So when I distribute this to everything, I have negative 0.24x minus 0.24y equals 0.24 times 90, negative 21.6. Okay? Now I'm going to start combining. This zeroes away. 0.13 minus 0.24 is negative 0.11, so negative 0.11y, and 19.8 minus 21.6 is negative 1.8. Okay? Now I'm going to divide by both sides by negative 0.11. And I'm going to be honest with you, I'm a little freaked out. What in the world? And that isn't right. And I got 16.36. Let's see if I can figure out what I did wrong. Probably did something wrong. I'm still very sad about it. Let's see if I can figure it out. 0.24 times 90 I got 21.6 negative. That's right, because it was negative. Oh, I put the wrong thing here. I did 13. So this should be 0.06. So I'm going to divide by 0.06. See, sometimes you just got to find those mistakes. So negative 1.8 divided by 0.06 is, I'm sorry, that should be negative 0.06. Nope. Darn it. Is 30. Yay! Y equals 30. So that means I need 30 quarts of this 24%, of this 18% butterfat. So I'm going to put 30 right there because I don't want to lose track of it because it's all over the place. All right. Now I'm going to go back to one of my original equations. I'm going to plug it in and see if it works and find my y or my x. X plus 30 should equal 90. X equals 60. Okay, so I think I need 60 quarts of 24% and 30 quarts of 18%. So I'm going to use this last one to see if that's true. So 0.24 times x, which I think is 60, plus 0.18 times y, which I think is 30, should equal, what did we say? Let's just put it all in there, 0.22 times 90. Okay, so 0.24 times 60 is 14.4. 0.18 times 30 equals 5.4. Just pretend that doesn't, whatever. And then 0.22 times 90 is 19.8. So let's see if 14.4 plus 5.4 is 19.8, which it is. Go us. So we need 60 quarts of 24% butterfat BFC, and we need 30 quarts of 18% BFC to get 90 quarts of 22% butterfat cream. Okay? Right? I know. It's weird looking, but again, once we do a couple, it should be easy. I will go over this with you in class tomorrow. I know this is a longer video than I like, but you know, I know. All right, I'll see y'all tomorrow.